Happy Library Wednesday, boys and girls. Today for library, we are going to focus on nonfiction versus fiction. And we've talked about this for a long time, so we know nonfiction are real. That means you're going to learn something when you read them. And fiction is not real, so therefore joy is just for entertaining. However, we have talked about how some nonfiction books will have a fiction story with fictional characters to make it more entertaining as we learn. So today we are going to do one of those. It is called Adventures of Riley, Amazon River Rescue, and it's by Amanda Lumry and Laura Hurwitz. There are going to be some little fact bubbles or boxes on some of the pages, so I will finish the story for that page and then we'll go back to the box and then continue the story. And when we are done reading, I will give you the assignment for today. I hope you guys enjoy story time. I'm going to the Amazon rainforest tomorrow, Riley said to his friends. I've heard it's full of man-eating piranhas, poisonous snakes, and who knows what else. Have fun, said Mike, but be careful. I will, said Riley. He couldn't wait to go, but still he wondered, if the Amazon is so full of amazing animals, why is Uncle Mac studying trees? After traveling for hours on a plane and then a ferry boat, Riley arrived in the Amazon. Welcome to Brazil, called Uncle Max. I've just discovered a new fungus. I'm going to call it Maximus fungus. Wow, said Riley. I'd rather have a nice animal or flower named after me, added Alice. With so many undiscovered species in the Amazon, you never know what you might find, said Aunt Martha, or what might find you. So we've got a little text box here. Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest is almost as big as the continental United States. If the Amazon basin were a country, it would be the 9th largest in the world. Why do you study trees, asked Riley. Wouldn't prowling jaguars, giant alligators, or even man-eating piranhas be more exciting? Join me in the boat and I'll show you, said Uncle Max. Trees provide homes and food for animals and birds. Plus, we all breathe the oxygen that trees produce. Without trees, animals and humans couldn't survive. So we'll go over to the Tamanda anteater. It does not have any teeth. Its sticky tongue helps it capture ants and termites. Got a leaf cutter ant. Large soldier ant protects the queen. It chews leaves into pulp to fertilize fungus beds, its only source of food. Piranhas. It eats more than just meat. Almost half of its diet is fruits and nuts. Many more humans have eaten piranha than the other way around. Speaking of alligators, why don't we visit the Cayman, suggested Uncle Max. As the sun began to set, several sets of glowing eyes watched them closely. This is so spooky, thought Riley. Boo! Yelled Alice. Ah! Riley jumped. Riley's first night in the Amazon was a real eye-opening experience. So Cayman here in the text box. It can grow up to 10 feet long. There are 23 different types of crocodile, alligators, and caiman in the world. Riley and Alice got up early to play soccer. After the game, they decided to go exploring. They stopped at the edge of camp. Something was moving in the distance. What are those? Asked Riley. Let's climb down and see, said Alice. What about the sign? Riley asked, trying to be careful. Maybe they're undiscovered animals, said Alice. They look like little bears, said Alice. I'm going to call them Alice bears. I think we should call them Rylisters, said Riley. The mysterious animals jumped into the river and began swimming away. We need a boat, said Riley. I know there's one back at the camp, said Alice. Follow me. Are you sure this is the right way? Asked Riley. Of course it is, said Alice. But of course it wasn't. After walking in circles, they spied a red rope tied to a funny-looking tree. At the end of the rope was a boat. Wait, don't move, warned Riley. Alice froze at the sight of a large, hairy tarantula. Riley scooped it up and set it on a tree branch far away. There they are, said Alice. They paddled as fast as they could, but couldn't keep up with the strange animals. We'll go back to our fact check here. Tarantula is the largest. The largest tarantula is the size of a dinner plate, and the smallest is tinier than a grain of rice. Even though it has 8 eyes, it has bad eyesight, and it can live as long as 30 years. Hey, there's a sloth, Riley said. I think I'll call it an Alice sloth. Very funny, Riley, Alice sighed. Hey, look. In front of them was a tower of smoke. That's way too much smoke for a campfire, said Riley. It looks more like the camp is on fire. Riley's heart was pounding. They pulled the boat out of the water and scrambled up a tree to get a better view. This isn't camp, said Alice. It's so quiet. The smoke and fire must have forced all the animals and birds away, said Riley. The wind changed, blowing a cloud of smoke in their direction. Quick, let's get back in the boat, Alice coughed. Go back here. A rainforest is a large, thick forest full of many kinds of life and is found in tropical areas where it rains a lot. The greatest threat to the Amazon rainforest is deforestation. Alice, I hear a helicopter, said Riley. Do you think that's my parents? Asked Alice. I bet they were worried when we didn't show up for lunch. Oh no, I don't think they can see us through the smoke, said Riley. So much for being careful, he thought. We're lost. I'm hungry. Where's camp? I'm tired. This can't get any worse, groaned Alice. Yes, it can, breathed Riley. Look, a jaguar! And jaguars can swim, said Alice. Jaguars can swim. It is the largest cat in North and South America. Early South American cultures worshipped jaguars as a god. They both sat very still and watched the big cat. It paced back and forth, sniffing the smoky air before slipping into the bush. Whew! We were seconds away from becoming jaguar jerky, said Alice. If we're going to get home before dark, we have to come up with a plan. Look for anything familiar, Riley said. Nothing looked familiar to Alice at all. Nothing. They paddled and paddled around curve after curve and by tree after tree. Then she saw it. Hooray, Alice yelled. There's the red rope tied to that funny-looking tree. Great spotting, said Riley. It's getting dark. We'll have to camp here for the night. Terrific. Just what I wanted to do. Sleep under a giant kapok tree, said Alice. Did you say kapok? Riley asked. I have an idea. Grab your paddle. I've read about chimpanzees doing this in Africa, Riley said. Doing what? Alice asked. Riley started banging on the roots of the tree, and a loud booming sound echoed throughout the river basin. Doing this, he grinned. So come up here, the kapok tree. It can grow 10 feet in height in 1 year. It is the tallest tree in the Amazon rainforest. Its flowers are pollinated by bats. After several minutes of knock, knock, knocking, the kapok lit up like a Christmas tree. Who's there? Asked the tree. That voice. Could it be? It was! Standing on a walkway high above them was Uncle Max, spotlight in hand with a smile as wide as the Amazon River. Looks like Aunt Martha was right. You'll never know what you'll find in the Amazon, he said. We were worried sick about you, cried Aunt Martha. Trees are saving our lives all the time, remarked Uncle Max, but tonight this tree played a starring role. We were trying to follow a furry new animal called the Alice bear, said Alice. I think you mean the Rylister, said Riley. Actually, it was a capybara, said Uncle Max. That rodent is quite common around here and was discovered and named a long time ago. Oh, the children said sadly. As they walked inside, a small bug landed on Riley's shirt. Incredible, cried Uncle Max. I've never seen an insect like this before. I bet it's an undiscovered bug, Riley said. They studied it closely for several minutes, then it flew off into the night. There goes the Alice beetle, gasped Alice. Don't you mean the Riley roach? Riley grinned. That night, they all dreamed of making new discoveries of their own. So the capybara, its nostrils are high on its head so it can hide underwater and still breathe. It is the world's largest rodent and can weigh up to 140 pounds. Back home at soccer practice, Riley thrilled everyone with stories of the Riley roach and being lost in the Amazon. He returned to living the life of a 9-year-old until he got another letter from his Uncle Max. Where will Riley go next? So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. As you can see, we learned a lot about the Amazon rainforest, but we also got a fictional story with a fictional character that made it a little bit more entertaining as we learned. There were also a couple other hints that this might be a nonfiction book. We've talked about glossaries before in the back of the book. We've got one. And if you guys remember, what the glossary is all those bold words or the really bold black words in the story. That means that you can go into the back of the book, into the glossary, and it'll tell you what those words mean. So we had that. We had text boxes, which we know are also a nonfiction text feature. And then we just had further facts and information in the back. So what I want you guys to do for your assignment today is you're going to draw something that is nonfiction or real, and then I want you to draw it again, but make it not real or fiction. So for example, I drew a guitar, and then I drew the guitar again, but I gave it eyes, arms, and legs. And guitars don't have that, right? They don't have all that stuff. So that makes it fiction. So I want you to do the same thing. You can draw a bear and then do a bear in a tutu. Be as creative as you want. Just go ahead and draw both. And then just another reminder that April is National Autism Awareness Month and Celebrate Diversity Month. And to celebrate that, I worked on a few sign language words in science. And so for those who don't know, sign language is used by those who are deaf, meaning they can't hear, or are mute, meaning maybe they can't talk. So this is how they communicate. And two of my favorite things that I've learned that I wanted to share with you boys and girls is I love you, which is this, and I miss you, which is I miss you. I hope you guys enjoyed story time, and I will see you next week. Enjoy.